Hello everybody, it's Bluev here. We're here for another video. So today you might wondering, what are we doing today? You didn't upload, you only stream. What can you give us interesting? So, to be sincere, I was out of content. So I'm gonna make a new series where I show tips and tricks to PvP. Because I see a lot of tutorials on YouTube, but they don't go on everything there is. I didn't see anything about hotkeys, and the ones about settings were not that good. Like, they were not in depth, and why should you use that setting, all that stuff. I didn't even see a single mod about PvP. Like, there's a lot of mods in Minecraft, and I saw nothing about PvP. So today I'm going to talk about that on that series. The first episode is going to be today, and we're going to do it about hotkeying. Yes, hotkeying, like the numbers on here. I'm going to show you why this is very important. Let's hop into a classic duel. We're back here, we're in duels, we're versus that guy. I'm gonna show you why hotkeys are pretty important in PvP. If I if I hit him and want to use my rod, I will need to hotkey because the scroll wheel is way too long and it's not that precise. So you should put like hotkeys. You can change it on the control menu. And my rod I changed it to air because I use toggle sprint, so I don't need a sprint key. As you see, it's way easier to hotkey like that. For my bow, I didn't put in the middle. I use Z because it's just under my A key and I can access it without extending my finger way too much and missing like a strafe or something like that. So I know I can access my 1, my number 2, my number 3, my number 4 real quick. So okay, you see? They're already raging because I know how to hotkey. So my bow is put in Z because the bow is pretty important. It's like a hit you can get at a distance. But I'm just going to kill this guy and going to show you why my hotkeys are like that. Die. Die. Okay, never mind. I'm going to die. Okay, nice. So we're here in the menu. We're going to go in my controls and we're going here. As you can see, my attack, I attack with LMB, so the left click. I place block with the right click, and well, normal keys to move and strafe. So some controls. So I got my hotbar slot from 1 to 4. I got it normal because I can access 1 pretty quickly. As you can see, I can access it 1 to 4 very quickly. I don't, because I with my ring finger I can just like press it, and I only use my finger for A. So when I'm not straight, when I need to go on my number 1 hotkey, I strafe to the right. To go my number 4, I need to use my index like here. So when I use this hotkey, I'm going straight to the left. So I can just like go on 1, go on 4, go on 1, go on 4, go on 1, go on 4. And my number 2 and 3 are the same finger that I use. So the number 1 I use the ring finger, so on 2 I use the ring finger. And on 3 on number 4 I use the middle finger, so on 3 I use the middle finger because they're not that far apart and I can kind of bend my index to go on both keys. So my number 5, my number hot slot here is Z. You wonder why Z? Why don't you just use 5? Because I think that number 5 is pretty far from your normal strafe key, so you need to like extend your fingers. It's such a drag when you're peeping and you're panicking, so you extend your finger, accidentally press 6 or 4, or even T for chat. That's way worse. So instead of doing that, I use my ring finger. Z is just under A. If you see on your keyboard, Z is just under A. So I'm just going to move my ring finger into Z like this. So instead of like extending my index in 5, I'm just going to place my ring finger in Z. So let's go over here. 6. Yes, 6 I use normal because I don't need that many hotkeys. I could use like on my 6, I could use the X, I could use the G, I could use the B. I'm already using it. I could use the N because I don't really use my thumb apart from like pressing B and doing commands or pressing spacebar. So yeah, I didn't really hotkey 6. I don't need it. And here I got hotbar slot 8 air. 9 is the top mouse button, and button 4 is the one under it. I'm gonna use photos for reference. Okay, then I can actually go here. So here I am on my desktop. Going to go to my Logitech settings right here, real quick. Just going to wait a little bit. Okay, so you can see here that this is my 9 slot button and this is my 8 slot button, because they're just next to each other and they're the farthest apart. So I'm using this one for the 9, this one for the 7, and for my most important button on all of my hotkeys, my most important button is air. I use toggle sprint, so I put my sprint to control as every single human. So I just put it to air, and I put my sprint to control like every single human, and I never touch it. I got toggle sprint, so you can see I place W and I'm always sprinting no matter what. So my air, what do I place in air? Okay, I'm going to show you. If I play, wait, I'm going to go to my, let's go to survival. So we are here on my survival mode, and you might wondering, what do you use air for? So it's depending on the game mode, I use other things. For example, if I play Bed Wars, there's no snowballs or rods. So I just use air for my pink wool because it's just next, and if I panic I can just like go from one and like block clutch or something. And when I want to speed really fast, I can just go here and pop. You see? And in Sky Wars there's like a lot of, wait, I'm gonna lower the volume. No, this is not the volume. On Sky Wars there's like snowballs. So I only, oh my god, I swear to god. There's like snowballs and rods. So my air is the most affiliate, and I use my blocks in my top mouse button. And I go to people and like just throw snowballs and go back to one. So for my air key I use my index, because if I use my ring I need to drag all the way in, and why use the thumb? I'm already using it for space, commands, and perspective, of course. No, for perspective, I use. Wait, I'm going to show you in a minute. So I use air for snowballs and blocks. Those are main thing. For one, and in every single game, I use sword. Always sword on one. My number two hotkey, I usually place my number two and three. I usually place like tools. I'm going to place tools like where's the X here? I should place tools like this, so it's easier to switch between them when I'm breaking bed or breaking blocks. On my number four, I use almost nothing, cause I'm never always too stacked. So my hotkeys are just there for if I need them. My number is Z5. I use my TNT. So if I'm going to a base, actually on my number 5 on Skyward, I use buckets of water so I can like MLG real quick. Like if I fall, I'm gonna MLG water. And on Bedwars, I'm going to. There's nowhere buckets or something to MLG, so I just use my TNT to break beds on my number Z because it's accessible and I don't want to waste time. So I just go like this, build up, and play the TNT, and it falls, and I jump after 2 seconds. So those are my hotbar hotkeys. Uh, There's something I should right now tell you. If you use the mouse button, for me, if I go on Forge, I cannot like hotkey like this. As you see, this is my mouse button. I cannot do that. It's going to stay the same. So imagine I'm doing this. It doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. If I am on Forge. On PvP Launch Client, I can actually use my mouse button to hotkey like this. So that's pretty useful in Bed Wars when I want to loot chests and all that stuff. Okay, so now let's go on the like another important part. So you don't want to get cleaned or something like that. So you got the perspective button or the toggle change. I don't know how it's called. So you got that thing. I think it's an F5, and for me F5 is way. I got small fingers because I'm still a child, so F5 is way too far from any of my fingers. So I just put it to C. I don't use C for anything. It was pretty much useless on my keyboard, and I saw the opportunity to use it. So anytime I think there's someone behind me, I just like press C 2 times, and if there's like a block like this, like is there something like this, and I want to see if someone is rushing me, I'm just like running over here. I take a quick peek like this, so I can see everything that's on the other side. Press twice or once if I want to see behind me too, and I go on my way on another base. So that's how I use perspective. Most people use F5, and that's way too far for my fingers. So let's see, one more do I have? For zoom, I only use V because it's pretty much useless V because it's a little bit far, and I don't use zoom that often, so I just put it on V. Oh my god, this sound! I swear to God, if they don't shut up. Okay, so let's see. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, for my comments, yeah, I almost forgot to them. To chat, I press T, but I almost never use chat. I always use P for my comments, backspace, and do whatever random things I want to say. Like, clapped or when I want to be toxic, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's what I. So that's thing tips to use your to hotkey some. So I give you already some tips. What more? What more? Hmm. Pretty much no. Oh, perspective mode. Yeah, when you in there's like a perspective mode. I'm gonna show you that on mode my mode tutorial. I'm gonna show you that mod because it's so good. So normally you can only see in front of you. Like if I go here, you can only see in front of you and behind you. So what's perspective mode, you may ask? It's a it's a mod that if you press any button you keybind it to. If I press F for it, cause it's pretty much useless on my keyboard, so I press F, and I can look on a 360-degree view. So I can look on my side, I can look on my other side, I can look up, I can look up, I can look down, I can look in front, or I can look pretty much everywhere on a 360-degree angle. So that's a very good mod. You should definitely give it a go. So that I think that's it. Huh? So that was the hotkey tutorial. I hope you learned something like on Badline Client. You cannot use your mouse buttons to like hotkey like this. So I hope you like this video. I hope you learn what's my mentality about hotkeying. Like I know a lot of people like I'm gonna say front-end players. They can use F1 and F2 and F3 to build, but they're pretty far. So I'm extending too much my fingers, and it's like 1 second delay. So I'm just like hotkeying like this, and I can do it in almost less than a millisecond. I can just like if I'm falling, like I'm gonna use water. Even if someone's hitting me like from behind, I always know that my water's here. Yeah, so the thing is you need to give each slot a work to do. Like I show you, my one's my squirt, my 2, 3 are tools, my Z is water bucket or lava bucket, and this one are alternates. So if I'm in Bowers, I always know if someone hit me to go in air to try and block clutch. If I'm Skywars and I'm like bridging high or something like that, and someone's like launching a snowball, I know that my water bucket is in the Z. Z. So when I go over here, I can just like, well, not here. I can just like water clutch, and that's pretty useful. I sometimes use my scroll wheel too. It's not like I never use it. I use it quite often. And so those are my mentalities about hotkeying. So I hope you like it. And oh yeah, the basics, of course. You can like shift. You need to go on controls here. Touchscreen mode off. Like you don't turn it on. And you can go here and hotkey like this. You need to shift and click or left click. And there's like a lot like this. You can just take one, shift and double click like this on a chest. If it's on a chest, of course. I'm going to search for a chest and quickly show you. Just like here, pop. Yep, you see, every single block came into my inventory. And so that was my tutorial about hotkeying. I hope you learned something. I think this tutorial I'm going to do on settings or on different type of clicking. Hope it helps you. and see you in another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support my channel. I gonna start uploading a little bit. It's going to be hard because I'm now going to private school.